Welcome to Zombie Popcorn Radio. It is March 26, 2011, and this is Jason. And I guess Paul's going to be running a little late, but we have a special guest in studio with us, Ham. Say hello, Ham.
Yo.
Welcome to the show. He just stopped by. We saw him on the street, and he's like, "What are y'all doing tonight?" What was that? They were on the show. Well, yeah, they were. We had him on the show a couple months back with Ham and T doing the T-shirts. But he's never been here. It was a call-in on that one, so we got it. So we're very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how you been?
Doing well. Can't complain. Okay. Making T-shirts every day.
Yeah. How's that going?
It's going well, man. Picking up. You know, summer's the weather's starting to turn, so that means more people wearing T-shirts. So better for me.
Excellent. And for those who are in the video chat room, hello, welcome. As you can see, this show is called the Skin Folk Show. And there's a reason for that, because we have two very, very, very talented people on the line with us. They are both producer and director, and film producers, writers. They do pretty much everything from what I understand. But what we're going to talk to them tonight about is an upcoming flick that they're working on called Skin Folk. And if you're interested in seeing this movie and want to learn more about this movie, head over to skinfolkmovie.com. Welcome to Zombie Popcorn Radio. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, we're on?
We are
on.
we are on. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Great. Why don't you take a quick moment and introduce yourselves and what you do, and just kind of give us a little background of each of you before we jump into the program.
Cool.
Oz, you go first.
I'll go first. Great. Hello, Zombie Popcorn Radio World. My name is M. Osley Dukan. I am a filmmaker from New York City who primarily makes films, science fiction, fantasy, horror films, what I call speculative films. Short films.
Excellent.
And I'm Miguel Jerez, also a filmmaker from New York City. I'm huge sci-fi horror film geek since a very early age, going with my uncle to Times Square back when it was a fun place to be at, and watching all kinds of movies. Not this gentrified version we have at Times Square nowadays. But ever since I was a little kid, I've loved horror films, and so that's what I wanted to do since I was a kid, and that's what I'm doing now as an adult. So I've been working on it. I've been working on films basically since graduation from college, and yeah, that's what I do.
Excellent.
And I guess we should mention we both went to the same college.
Yes.
Is that how y'all met?
Classmates. Say it again.
Is that how you met?
That's how we met. Yeah, we were classmates at City College several years ago. More than several years ago. About 10 years ago, I would probably say now.
Yeah, about 10. Yeah. Going on 10 years, yeah, that's right. Wow, it's been that long.
In New York City, yeah.
Time flies.
And we've worked together off and on since then. But this is our first project that was like a major project that we're working on together.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So what is this new project? This is your first horror film called Skin Folk.
Yeah, Skin Folk. Well, for the past few years, I've been kind of dedicated to making short science fiction, fantasy, horror films on my own, and working my way eventually up to making a feature-length film. One of my last projects that I'm in post-production in is a documentary about the history of Black representations in science fiction, fantasy, horror films, and books. And one of the people that I interviewed for that project was a Caribbean-Canadian writer named Nalo Hopkinson. She writes sci-fi / horror novels. And one of the books she wrote was a collection of short stories called Skin Folk. And I had always really, really enjoyed that book and all the stories in there. And so I kind of came to the idea of grabbing a few of those stories, optioning a few of those stories, and making an anthology horror film. So basically, that's what Skin Folk is. It's an anthology horror film that's kind of based. The mythology is based in Caribbean folklore. and there are archetypes that are very similar to what, you know, in pop culture, where we have vampires or ghosts or zombies, but they're similar to that, but they're different because their origins are different, but they're recognizable at the same time.
Yeah.
So I thought I would take those 3 of her stories that kind of epitomize those 3 archetypes and bring them together in the traditional anthology story with a wraparound story.
And it sounds wonderful. Because you actually introduced me to her written work by researching Skinfolk and the information that you sent me. And I was really intrigued by it. In fact, I put one of her books up on the Zombie Popcorn Book Club.
Yes, I saw that. Brown Girl in the Rain.
Yeah, and that looks awesome. I've actually ordered it and waiting for it to arrive so I can read it.
Yeah, she's a really prolific, intelligent, creative writer.
Yeah.
And she's really, you know, I guess she's always been into the kind of sci-fi or horror aspect of her culture and just in general. And it's always made its way, even when she writes something that's a little straighter, somehow those elements always make their way in her stories.
Excellent. I want to take a moment real quick and play your trailer for Skinfolk that y'all put together. So let's do that real quick.
This looks to be the biggest storm that the Gulf Coast has seen since Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Meteorologists are reporting the storm currently in Category 2 and building may possibly reach a Category 4 and maybe even a Category 5 by the time this is all over. And as we all remember, Hurricane Katrina, a Category 5 hurricane, destroyed much of New Orleans after the levees broke. Residents don't seem to be taking any chances and are leaving the city in droves and by any means necessary.
I've watched the thing.
Excellent. There is the trailer for Skinfolk. Again, if you want to go check out their website, it's skinfolkmovie.com.
Yeah, that's our teaser trailer, edited by Miguel. So we've been out and shot it in one day with a couple of actors and in parts of Manhattan, parts of Brooklyn. We found an area in Brooklyn that was isolated enough to look like where we are setting the Skinfolk movie. We're taking it, I didn't mention before, we're taking it out of the Caribbean and bringing it to a New Orleans location. So we looked around and found this location, this canal in Brooklyn, that if you shot it at the right angle, it resembles something down south. But Miguel, you want to talk about editing the trailer, bringing together the footage, the found footage and everything?
Yeah. Like Ashley mentioned, there was the one area in Brooklyn that sort of resembles, like, you know, a southern part of the country, like New Orleans and whatnot. And that was really great that we were able to find that one spot and utilize it to the max as we did. And as far as the editing is concerned, it involves a lot of compositing work, green screen, and a lot of archival footage. We got a lot of footage from online from different weather sources. If you'll notice, the background is a lot of rainstorms and thunderstorms and whatnot. We got that off the internet from various different sources. So using that in conjunction with the footage we actually shot, we put that together there. As Ashley mentioned, it's a teaser trailer. It's it's just a little bit of a taste of what you can expect. When we get rolling on the actual production, we put it together a more complete trailer. You'll see a lot more enticing stuff right there. It's just a little bit of a taste.
Yeah.
And it was really good. And that whole thing was edited fairly quickly. I think like you mentioned, we shot the whole thing in a day, actually a weekend rather, and the editing took place shortly thereafter. So it was pretty quick to turn that sucker around. And I'm looking forward to taking on the actual production really soon.
I really like the way the female zombie looks. I like how it is taking part of the traditional original zombie, which is the
more
the
spiritual,
voodoo,
mythical.
Yeah, the more the voodoo. And speaking of the spiritual, mythical aspect of it, can you let our listeners know what the phrase "skin folk" really means, or what it means, especially by the definition of the writer of the book?
Well, Nalo always said that she mentioned when commenting about skin folk that when the skin comes off, the true self emerges, right? So I always thought, skin folk, the 3 stories that were chosen really kind of exemplify people who weren't what they seem or who are hiding who they are. So it's kind of, without getting into, too much detail about the stories, there's, as I said before, there's a vampire story, there's a ghost story, and there's a zombie story. And then there's the wraparound story, and in the 3 major stories, the protagonist or the main character, kind of, you don't really realize it at the beginning what's going on, because the stories are kind of set up to seem a little bit more like a drama, but then all of a sudden, strange things start happening, or people are revealed to not to be who they seem to be.
Yeah, I think the old saying, things are not always what they seem, really applies here, in the sense that it starts off, like as you said, it starts off, you think it's one thing, and then partway through the story, you realize, oh, it's not. It's this other thing over here. And I think that goes to say what Ashley was saying right there about, things are not always what they seem.
Yeah.
And I have to mention, you did make mention of the makeup and the wardrobe of the actress who's playing the zombies, and I have to give a shout out to the 2 women who work with me. I had Joanne Petit Ferrer, who was the wardrobe stylist. She's from New York City, and the makeup artist was a woman named Marisha Roxanne Scott. And I had worked with them on a smaller video project earlier in the year, and I love the way they work together, and I thought they were really creative. So I just approached them, and with a little bit of money we had to shoot the teaser trailer, to come on here, and I gave them some some pictures and some ideas of what I wanted, and I really just let them go with creating the look of this character once they had an idea of what I wanted, and I think it was fantastically successful.
Yeah, she looks great. Yeah. They did a great job. Speaking of the money that you had to help for the costume, you're currently working on a fundraiser. Would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Well, the new wave these days, as far as filmmaking goes, is to do the crowdsourcing fundraising. So we started an Indiegogo, which is one of the major crowdsourcing websites. We started a fundraiser with them in conjunction with our fiscal sponsor, Fractured Atlas, and we're moving towards raising $10,000 to get through the development process, because we're still in development. We're still trying to pull together, tightening up the script. We're still trying to pull together a cast and a crew. We're still putting together the visual design, the storyboards. We want to do a comic book of one of the stories, so that we can use this to approach producers and distributors. So we're still at the beginning stage. We like to shoot at the end of the year, but we're still at the stage where we're getting everything together to do this shooting. So we started, as I said, a crowdsourcing page, a fundraising page with Indiegogo, which allows us to collect funds via online tools, credit cards, debit cards. You can still send us checks, but it just makes it much easier to collect funds that way.
Yeah.
And then with our fiscal sponsor, Fractured Atlas, working in conjunction with Indiegogo, is that all the money that is donated is officially donated, is a tax write-off. So, you know, and all the information is there on our site. And I guess you'll have links to those pages.
Yes. They're currently on zombiepopcorn.com on the Skinfolk post that's up on the site now, but we'll also put them on the rebroadcast as well.
Yeah, I guess if you go to Indiegogo and search for Skinfolk, an anthology horror film, it will come right up, because, you know, the address is really long with all these letters and numbers and slashes.
Well, you have the video right there on the February 9th post right on your skinfolkmovie.com site.
Yes, we do. Yeah, so we Miguel and I, you know, we took a day to create a pitch video, and we talk a little bit about what we're doing and what we're doing, what we're raising the money for and such, and all the information is there on that page too. So yeah, go to Indiegogo, Skinfolk, and look up Skinfolk, and you'll find us.
Excellent. Definitely do that.
Oh, and some of the perks are you know, like some of the perks for different donation amounts are posters, autographed posters, autographed T-shirts, special limited edition DVDs and such.
The idea is to make the donators basically be a part of the process, make them feel as if they are helping make this thing come alive, and not just give some money and forget about it. But you are involved. You'll be given updates as to where the production is, and you'll be given like you said, like autographed posters and things of that nature to make you feel as you're a part of the process, because you are a part of the process. You are helping bring to the foreground, to the forefront, something that really hasn't been seen very much, if at all, with regards to the Afro-Caribbean horror story. You don't see much of that at all. And so, by donating, I think you're really helping to push the horror genre into a whole new territory that's really, really cool and full of really interesting stuff that I think the audience at large will really enjoy once they see it.
Definitely.
We'll appreciate it. Yeah.
I think it's great. And you brought up the Afro-Caribbean folklore aspect of it, and you're going to bring this story into New Orleans. How do you feel that New Orleans reflects that folklore? How does it,
I'm sorry, it dropped out a little bit. Can you ask that?
Yeah, you said that this film, is based a lot on the Afro-Caribbean folklore. How do you feel that New Orleans, since you're going to base the film in New Orleans, reflects that type of folklore? Do you think it's already built in there?
Well, it's one of the things that attracts me about Nalo's writings is because she writes from a Caribbean perspective, and my background and also Miguel's background, just to mention, are Caribbean backgrounds. So I was always attracted to those stories because when I was young, I heard little things here and there about different types of characters and stuff. So it was in the back of my mind. But I grew up here in the United States, so after a while you become assimilated to the culture you live in. Yeah. New Orleans, I feel though, is a very special culture unto itself, which can I'm using a little writer's license here, and I'm taking some of the folklore from one culture and bringing it to another, but they're not that far apart. There are stories of ghosts and other such things in voodoo in New Orleans. So it kind of, I think, if out of any culture in the United States, it blends really well together.
Yeah.
Well,
so
yeah.
Sorry,
go ahead, finish your thought. Actually,
no, go ahead.
I was going to say that New Orleans, more so than any other part of this country, is heavily influenced by the Caribbean. There's a lot of Caribbean, not just influence, but the culture down there is very much influenced by the Afro-Caribbean.
Especially Haiti.
Haiti, but not just Haiti, but also like Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cuba. That whole area of the world has a heavy influence on New Orleans, I think. If you're gonna set the story anywhere in America, I think New Orleans would be the ideal place to do that. More so than New York or any other part of this country. Not that these other parts wouldn't work, but I think New Orleans, really led itself to this type of story.
Yeah, I think New Orleans. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say, I think New Orleans is a great setting for any horror film, just for the fact that, you know, especially African folklore is always a part of every horror movie that's out there, whether it's, you know, voodoo zombies or not. It's always been a part. It seems like anything dealing with, even to the Ouija board movies, to shape shifting, to demon possessions and stuff, it can be traced back to like West African folklore and stuff. And I think, as you said, Miguel, that New Orleans definitely reflects that, is the number one spot to reflect that type of, you know, that
blend,
way of life and horror movies and everything. I think it's great. Paul, my co-host, is a huge fan of New Orleans. He goes there a lot because of whatever reasons.
And not just for Mardi Gras, I hope.
No, I've never been for that. I don't think I ever will.
You're a true New Orleans fan.
No, just the. I mean, you know, it's the only place that has cemeteries above, you know, where bodies are above ground, and it's just the only place you can go and see like businessmen wearing pinnacles, and then, you know, hear voodoo drums down one side of the street. It's also the only place where they play jazz at funerals and actually have funeral jazz bands, which it's got to be one of the coolest. It's
kind of cool.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about
I want that at my funeral.
Yeah, after about 3 days, I feel like I'm gonna kill someone if I have to hear the washboard one more time, because it's like the same Zydeco rhythm in every tourist shop. You know, it's like cha 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 cha, and it's like, oh.
But you know, just visually speaking, New Orleans is really just a great.
It's beautiful.
Great thing, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's got this whole like Gothic thing going on at the same time, blending in with the modern, and then there's the whole French and Caribbean influence. It's just a really great setting visually.
It's a rare city that can please both, you know, Gothic fans and Jimmy Buffett fans at the same time.
I agree.
That's pretty hard to find. And just, you know, all the iconic places, Café Du Monde. Like the first time I went there, you know, I got my beignets and coffee and everything like you do. And there's like a jazz, you know, like a 3-piece set, and they're playing Dave Brubeck Quartet Take 5. I'm just like, no freaking way. This can't be really happening. This is great. The whole city's just amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Indeed.
And then, you know, you have all the history of plantations and all the... one of the really big stories down there, I mean, most plantation owners have questionable practices, but there was one woman down there that she was like the Elizabeth Bathory of New Orleans, like just completely... obscene and messed up, you know, practices with killing workers and slaves and using them for occult purposes, and I mean the whole city's just filled with that. It's crazy. It's a crazy place.
Yeah, it is. But a beautiful place at that.
Yeah,
crazy but beautiful.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I also think setting it in the southern United States, especially New Orleans, we're kind of following in the tradition of early zombie race films.
White Zombie,
yeah.
White Zombie, not necessarily. That's not necessarily a race film, but yeah, in the tradition of those films. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is the Blue Man Group ad keep popping up every 14 minutes. As I was saying, yeah, obviously White Zombie is you know, the original voodoo zombie film in the United States, but specifically, you know, there were also some race films which were films that were aimed at African American audiences, which dealt with topics of voodoo and zombies in the southern United States, amongst you know, plantations and black folk down there.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're kind of following in the tradition by bringing it out of the Caribbean and into Louisiana settings.
Right.
By doing it.
Yeah, and it's something we don't really see much as far as zombie films are concerned nowadays. Now, don't get me wrong, I love George Romero, and I credit Night of the Living Dead as being one of the films that made me want to get into filmmaking in the first place. But all we see nowadays are the zombies that, you know, that basically were, raised from the dead via some virus or some other chemical compound or whatever. We don't see much, or if at all, really, any voodoo type influence or any kind of mystical, spiritual stuff. And I think this would be this film helps bring a taste of that back into
its roots.
Screen.
And that's what makes me really excited about the film, because when I first found out about it, I was just really excited that it's not only a film actually not made by a studio where they obviously will mess up the love and the passion to it, but it's actually taking it back to the roots, not just a film, but back to the roots of where we originated zombies from. And I love it.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen one anyway since The Serpent and the Rainbow. That's
that was the last one that I can think of.
There was, no, it wasn't zombies. There was one called The Believers in the 80s that was really good about cults.
Martin Sheen was in that.
Yeah.
I think I saw that years ago.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, we love any zombie movie here. But yeah, you're right. It's usually toxic slime or
viral outbreak or something like that.
Yeah, or some kind of virus or just no explanation at all.
Which are all cool. I mean, I love those too, but that's all we see.
Yeah, but it is nice to go back to, because we always talk about this. We obviously love horror movies, but my favorite are that anytime the supernatural gets involved, those always seem to be my favorite horror movies. So it'll be exciting to have supernatural with zombie again instead of just science.
We're not just the great thing about this is it's not just staying with zombies. It's not to give away. We're doing correct me if I'm wrong. We are taking it back to the the original ghost story and back to the original vampire story as well. And
we're doing that as well. Yes,
covering all. I guess what I would call the three of the more popular kind of archetypes of horror genre films. Vampire story, but in our story it's called a sukuyan, and the sukuyan is from Caribbean folklore, and it's basically the old hag. It's basically a woman who takes off her skin and kind of hovers around as a red fireball and sucks the blood of people for power. So
that's way awesome.
You identify like certain elements to it that are that are vampire like in the traditional kind of Eastern European tradition. It's a little bit different. And then the other story is a ghost story. It's, actually, that story, as it was written by Nalo, was a little bit more of a science fiction feel to it. So I kind of brought it back into a ghost story feel, with a little bit more of the New Orleans Creole culture surrounding it.
And it's done in the script for that is really awesome. I mean, we have a really good blueprint from which to work, and we're both really excited about this film. I mean, it's going to be awesome. That's all I can really say about that.
Yeah,
it's going to be.
Miguel, you want to tell a little bit about the third story, the one you're actually going to
direct? Dry Bone, which is how can I describe Dry Bone? It's kind of like what you think it starts off as a story about a woman being taken advantage of by this old man, but turns out like this kind of like me. I don't want to give away too much. Basically, it starts off as one type of horror story, then evolves into a totally different type of horror story, and who you think is a bad guy may not really be the bad guy, and it's really, really freaky.
Excellent.
And it's all really self-contained. It involves only really 3 characters, and it's really, really cool. It's awesome. I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, honestly, if you want to add to it,
we don't want to give away too much, but I did want to add that the Dry Bone story actually was this excerpt from one of Nalo Hopkinson's other books called Midnight Robber. And it was kind of a self-contained kind of folktale story within that book about the main character. And then it kind of, she brought it out as like a story that kind of stands by itself.
And in the original story,
actions going on,
And in the original story, it's set on another planet, if I recall correctly.
Yes, it is.
It's really a science fiction story in the original story. But again, we've repurposed it somewhat and made it into a horror story. I mean, it always was a horror story, but it had more of a science fiction feel in the original book.
Yeah.
So
when you put these 3 short stories from the book together, once Skin Folk is together, is it going to be 3 short films, or are you going to break it up having 3 full-length features?
Well, my original vision was that we would have 3 short stories that could stand by themselves.
Yeah.
But in the anthology, the American style of anthology filmmaking, where you have a wraparound story or a wraparound character, I decided to create another character, which is what I call the Walkabout Woman, who was kind of visualized in the teaser trailer.
Yeah.
To kind of bring the 3 stories together thematically. And there's a little twist in each story that kind of, when you see them with the wraparound story, it will bring the whole movie together. But each story could definitely stand apart by themselves. And
exactly.
Just thinking about like the future of filmmaking distribution, it was just like, we watch a lot of short products and movies online now, and I was like, well, this would be a good idea if we could have all the stories self-contained, and they could stand on their own as a film on their own. But the idea was to do a traditional American style anthology film with a wraparound story.
But as you mentioned, that could easily be broken up into individual stories. So if you just wanted to watch one story but not the others, you could in theory do that as well.
Yeah.
And not lost. Yeah.
And you wouldn't lose anything out of it. You'd be like, oh, that was really cool, story in and of itself, by itself, and hopefully it'll interest you to watch the other ones as well. But in theory, you could just watch one and feel fully like you're not missing anything at all. Like you've just watched a really cool story by itself. Yeah. So that's the idea. That's how we're structuring it.
Excellent. And if you want to know more about it, go to skinfolkmovie.com. That's skinfolkmovie.com. I'm really excited about this project. I've been talking about it to everybody since I heard about it, and I'm glad you guys came on the show to talk about this. And I definitely want you to keep me in the loop on everything that's going on with this project.
Most definitely. You actually, Zombie Popcorn is actually our first outlet for talking about the project, and we really appreciate it.
I'm sorry.
We'll be back. Say what?
I said I'm sorry.
You were our first.
That's okay, because normally after people go on here, they actually go on to more successful shows.
That's good. It's good to know.
Yeah. So I don't know if that has anything directly to do with it.
I don't know.
You guys are our launching pad.
Usually we see something in Fangoria like 6 months later, and we're like, son of a bitch. So hopefully, Fangoria would be great.
Yeah, Fangoria would be awesome.
That's on our list. That's on our list to make some moves toward.
You're working on the basic foundations of building everything you need to put this film together. From your website, you say that you're shooting to hopefully to have it start shooting in the winter of this year, correct? Or has that changed?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
That is the plan, and we're sticking to it. But we're open to change. Filmmaking costs money. There's a lot that people can do nowadays when they have certain equipment, but we really want to nurture this project and try to make it the best it can be. So we've been talking to a couple of producers, and we have a plan to approach some certain distribution companies and festivals and such. So while we're kind of dedicated to shooting this year, and my experience in the past is kind of like just go ahead and shoot your project. I'm trying to nurture this one a little bit to make it the best it can be, because we're going with Miguel and I have decided we want to go with special effects and not so much as visual effects, not so much about post-production effects, though there will be some, but we want to go that traditional route.
Do more stuff in camera.
The Howling style, better than the Howling, but the Howling style, special effects with actual makeup and all that entails. So we want to make sure that we have a reasonable budget to do the 3 stories correctly.
Yeah.
And I just want to add to that while we are focusing more on in-camera effects, as Osni pointed, there will be some computer graphics involved as well, obviously.
Yeah, there has to be.
Of course, in this day and age, that's kind of par for the course. And I wanted to add regarding the equipment, the fact that in this day and age, filmmaking has, while it's still an expensive endeavor, we have a lot more access to equipment nowadays, which will make us, which in theory should make it easy for us to shoot a feature on a limited budget. Whereas this film had we approached it, say, 20 years ago, would have been a real challenge to try and produce on a low budget. Nowadays, we have equipment available to us that really makes the whole process easy. I mean, that trailer you just saw earlier, I edited that on my laptop using Final Cut Pro.
Shot it on the Canon 5D. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, we shot it basically originally a still camera. It's a digital still camera, but it shoots video as well, and we use that as our camera. I mean, that's the kind of thing we have a lot of technology at our hands nowadays that will make the filmmaking process go that much more smoothly if you know what you're doing, of course.
Yeah.
And should help us along and make this production go a lot smoother. I think so. And we're both very, very talented filmmakers. Not to toot our own horn, but we've been doing this for a while. So I think we know we've grown up with this new technology. We're really good at using it. And once the production gets rolling, we will be, we should, in theory, make the whole thing go really smoothly. Yeah. I can't say for sure that it will, because, filmmaking is you never know what you're going to get every day. Yeah. But we're really good at what we do here, I think, and we should, given the technology and the experience that we have at our disposal, be able to make this thing fairly quickly and fairly inexpensively and turn out an awesome product.
Yeah. Well, just looking at your stuff that you can find links on skinfolkmovie.com, looking at the past work you've done, it's pretty good. The music videos and the other projects that you have produced and directed, it's great stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And Paul hates when I pimp him out, but I'm going to pimp him out. He, in case you're looking or need somebody, he does
in post-production.
He does work in post-production, doing sound effects, and he writes music. He's done soundtrack for the documentary Nightmares in Red, White, and Blue, and other films and stuff. So.
Oh, I'm definitely going to be calling him. I have 3 projects in post-production right now.
Yeah.
And they're all science fiction based.
I love some science.
He does.
I'm wearing a Soylent Green T-shirt right now. Actually.
It's people. It's people.
That's why I was late. I was watching Escape from New York, and I was like, oh man, because I'm on a post-apocalyptic kick right now. So
nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, just drop me an email, and then I'll put you in contact with him if you want to talk.
Excellent. But I think my Blue Man group is coming up very soon. I'm trying to time it this time.
During that Blue Man group, keeping us free.
Oh yeah, I guess.
I've actually seen their show. It's really kick ass. I love their show.
Yeah,
I had no idea that it wasn't. I found that it wasn't the same 3 guys.
It's not?
No, they hold trials, and you have to be roughly. I mean, you obviously have to be able to play like PVC drum set, but you have to be the same size as them, like roughly the same body type, and they're able to have multiple shows going on in the country.
Yeah,
it's my friend, kind of like a franchise or something.
So like somewhere right now, the real 3 original Blue Man group are just sitting there collecting paychecks.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They're sitting in a beach chair on Ibiza, sipping on something and just
getting the blue tan.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
My friend from Street Drum Corps, Bobby Alt, he applied to be a Blue Man group.
Yeah, those guys are good.
So it's cool. So definitely, please, everyone, go check out skinfolkmovie.com. Support these people. I want an excellent zombie voodoo film.
And you will have it.
It's been a long time coming.
It's coming.
We've been waiting too long. And please keep me in the loop on everything. I want to help out as much as I can, both financially and promotionally. I'm poor, so it may take a while for that money to get to you, but it will happen.
Unless people start ordering some more T-shirts and shoes from the website. Yeah.
But excellent. Anything else you want to add before we move along?
No, just for everybody to visit skinfolkmovie.com and make a donation. Consider making a donation to our efforts.
And be a part of the process.
Yes, and be a part of the process. Definitely.
Excellent.
Definitely.
Check it out. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You're definitely welcome to come back anytime.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome.
Y'all have a great night.
All right, you too.
Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye.
That's skinfolkmovie.com. Go check it out. I'm really, really happy to see this film. It's about time we've gotten a good voodoo zombie film.
Yeah.
Not just a voodoo zombie film, but a classic ghost story, vampire story, and
New Orleans
zombie.
is the perfect setting for all of that.
Thanks for
So what's the story?
Token black guy on the film.
I didn't want to say it, but I came in and I was like, he actually roped in a black dude because he's talking to people. He didn't want it to just be two white kids sitting on
No, that's not. It was just
totally
cool.
what
It was
is.
totally
All
coincidence.
Dude, I've been coming here every Saturday.
Never.
You're first.
Right.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
And I think you just said something.
Yeah.
No, but everybody. Ham's been on the show before.
Has he?
Yeah,
I didn't know. I probably wasn't here.
you wasn't here.
I
So
wasn't.
sad. So sad.
Okay.
Coming in late, not here. No.
Hey, man.
But definitely welcome. But
Thanks.
you gotta hang out with. Sitting back.
I'm just like, I don't know anything about zombie films. I don't know shit about voodoo. Don't know anything about New Orleans.
Well,
what can I
you
say?
sure have come to the right
Right,
place.
right. Now you want to talk about business or something, or I don't know.
No, that's funny. So awesome. So
Camera on my phone keeps going off.
your phone keeps freaking out.
Taking pictures in my pocket.
Anyway, we saw Insidious.
We did.
You want to talk about it?
I do.
Let's talk about it.
It was really good.
I liked it. Yeah.
It was, when to be like really, I guess, cool in the horror world, we kind of have to be like, oh, I hate Saw, Paranormal Activity. These guys suck. I'd never see anything by them.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I'd say those two movies do suck, but
I
wouldn't
what I mean,
see.
though. It's common to hate on that. That movie was so freaking good. I loved it.
You jumped. I saw you jump in that film.
I'd never jump. I never jump.
It's PG-13.
I know. It's amazing. I talked to someone. He was like, dude, it's PG-13. I'm like, no. This goes to show you that you don't need tons of... tons of nudity and gore are really awesome.
Yeah.
But you don't need it. I mean... This had Tiny Tim in it, for Christ's sake. And it was one of the creepiest parts. So,
but not the part you jumped at.
No, I jumped at a couple parts, I think. I think I jumped at the part with the head behind the father.
Yeah, that's the one I saw you, because out of the corner of my eye, I just see you go. Well, I see the whole row.
Everybody. I'm sure you jumped, too.
No, I have no emotions.
Yeah. No emotions. We'll ask Miley what you were doing when you guys were watching Up. And see if you have...
I was crying.
We were talking about that movie on the way. It's so sad.
That is a sad movie.
We got onto it from The Secret of Nim. Because I was like, man, they don't make kids movies anymore where the dad's already dead.
Well, actually, I got an email. I had need to respond back to him, but the email said that they're working on a new animated feature for adults, in the same vein of Plague Dogs. If you know anything about Plague Dogs,
I won't watch that one. You told me plenty, but Secret of Nim's where I cut it off.
What's that?
Plague Dogs is a animated feature based on two dogs who escape from a vivisection laboratory, and it's their struggles because they're plague dogs. Apparently, in animal testing labs, they inject them with everything and do all these tests on them. Apparently, they had the plague. And so they're trying to kill the dogs, and it's very sad. You can't go 5 minutes without tears just pouring out of your face.
Is there ever an adult film for that?
No, there's a new film coming up that said it's in the similar vein of that. So,
those were the same people that did Secret of Nim.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Secret of Nim starts off with rats that have escaped from a testing facility. So we see there's a common thing, but we're going off on the subject.
Yeah. Back to
It's a
the
freaking awesome movie. Anyway, the whole way we talked about The Secret in like half an hour on the drive over. So anyway, back to Insidious. There's one hell of a review in it.
We're schizophrenic. It's all right.
So yeah, I jumped during that part. I like it because it reminds me of just the classic old school haunted house movie.
It was excellent.
And I went online. I read a couple people saying, "Excuse me, totally cliche." It's a freaking haunted house movie. How can you not be cliche? A door's gonna open, then it's gonna shut. You know, a cabinet doors are gonna go wah, wah, and then
that's what happens.
You know, I mean, that's what happens.
At least the walls didn't bleed. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but it does put a new twist into it, which was really good. I loved it. I mean, you know, if I recommend it to you and it sucks, well,
if you want to go see it and you live in the Virginia Beach area,
yeah, that's right. We got
50 admit to pass guest list spots. Was that
a little under that now? I at least sent you one name.
Yeah, you sent me one.
Okay,
so we got 49. Just kidding. Now, if you want to do it, just go to zombiepopcorn.com. Follow the directions of how to get it, and we'll put you on the guest list, and you can see it tomorrow night, Monday. No, day after tomorrow. Yeah. I don't even know what today is.
Monday
at 7:30. So, but I think it's cool. I mean,
at AMC Lynn Haven in Virginia Beach.
I think if you're gonna go see one free movie, it has to be this.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think.
Until we get another pass for a free movie, then you have to.
The last free one I saw was, I think it was District 9. That one's pretty good too.
Yeah. I got an autographed poster from Peter Jackson.
Yeah, I know. PJ texted me the other day, just wanted to know how it looked on the wall.
I told him I didn't even hang it up.
Yeah, smashing PJ, smashing.
But yes, no, it's a good film. What I love most about the film, outside of everything that was from the first credit to the end credit, but the title logo and
my favorite part. I figured out how to make that the next day. Yes, I've got it on my computer. Awesome. I'll play it for you. I loved it. That part was so Sam Raimi. It just really dragged me, and it's kind of shaking. It's like,
and it's massive. It's not. It doesn't even fit.
Yeah, it was total like fascist style size, all caps, taking up the whole screen. It was great.
It was bad.
Yeah, I really liked that movie.
It was fun.
You know, kids being haunted by ghosts first. Parents don't believe. Check. Creepy, pasty, ghosty people walking the house and screaming. Check.
The two women. Oh my god,
dude! You see that part? We don't want to give it away with the the thing he's looking through, but it's clicking and you're waiting for it. You know it's gonna happen. You're like, red, no, blue, no, shit. What color could be left? Yellow, no. And then on green it happens. Yeah, that was good.
You should. I don't want to give anything away, but you just told me.
But they don't know what they won't know that.
Because you may go see it Monday, right?
Yeah.
We're just fucking it up for him.
You don't even know what I'm talking about there. And I love the ending. It was good. It was the classic. Yeah. You know, what? And I loved the old lady. I think she was my favorite.
It wasn't the same old lady that sucked your face like in.
No, that woman was awesome. It's another movie.
It was good, yeah. So what's up?
I know nothing about horror movies. Like I said, I'm the token black guy.
Just sit there. That's good.
Right, just say something cool.
Right, say something cool, man.
No, so what do you like?
As far as
anything, we'll talk about it.
Women, weather, and weed. No, I'm playing. I'm joking. That was a joke. But actually, that would make a good T-shirt. Though. That was a joke. But actually, that would make a cool T-shirt.
You're right.
Yeah. Hold up.
Wait. So we can't talk about women because our wives are in the other room.
Weather.
I'm just picturing you with like two chicks on either side and a bong and the Weather Channel.
Big projections.
Dude, I can totally not believe that Des Moines is getting all that snow. It's fucking April.
Hold on, you said bong, man. I'm black, man. Bong.
Black guys don't smoke bong?
No,
just pipes.
Just roll J's, man.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. Sitting there with a giant Phillies blunt.
Right, right, man.
Totally forgot.
Hey, man, you gotta get it right, man.
How did we go wrong with
Right,
this show?
right. I will smoke, but if I did, it wouldn't be out of a bong, man.
Dude, that is so college white guy.
Right, man.
You want to know what's worse is the white trash Coke can. When you take it.
What's wrong with that? No.
Yeah. And the safety pin poking the hole.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a flashback to 11th grade.
What have we done? Let me take out the logo here. This is not.
Yeah.
Welcome to Zombie Popcorn Radio.
All right.
It's good. So yeah, so Insidious, definitely a good film.
Yeah, I
think
liked it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best horror films, especially PG-13 horror film. That.
Yeah, even I talked to Jan. We're like, normally, I mean, we go and see so many of them. You're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's rare that I'm kind of actually tense. So I had a blast. I loved it. It was kind of felt just like an old.
We can go see it again Monday.
She won't let me.
So you guys going again on Monday? Or?
No. I would, but
yeah,
I was told that I didn't need to.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How were you?
Yeah, I was. You should remember. It came out of your mouth.
Someone's on punishment. Someone's.
Well, yeah, but I can totally skip Buddhist temple for haunted house.
Someone's sleeping on the couch tonight.
Dun, dun, dun. You know what? Sucker Punch is getting a lot of bad reviews right now.
Oh, I mean, it looks visually neat. It looks like a crap movie as far as like story and plot, but it's. We were talking about it. It's like the last Resident Evil. I didn't expect it to be really good.
Nobody expects any Resident Evil movie to be good.
That's what Sucker Punch is like. It's the same thing. You're just going to watch.
Kind of like go see Drive Angry.
Yeah. Oh, look, they're pretty people and they're doing cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
I want to go see it.
Yeah.
I wish it was in 3D though. I wish Insidious was in 3D.
I really thought that Sucker Punch was going to be in 3D because it's so CGI heavy. That, I mean, that always works well. It's all digital,
What is Sucker Punch? I have no idea.
Let me see if I can pull up a trailer. You want to talk to him about it? Why? See if I can find this.
So it's about this girl that ends up in some. Is it like a mental institution for girls?
Is this a horror film or is this?
No, it's
no. This is like. This almost looks like it was done by the same guy that did 300.
He did actually. It is the same guy.
Oh, it is the same. Okay, yeah. So it's like, and what was the other one? The one before that. The other guy, Sin City. So it's got that kind of look to it.
I'm gonna grab the headphones. We'll pull it up.
And the thing is like in this school for girls or mental institution for girls, they all look like models.
Here's the trailer if you want to check it out. Might be a commercial. No, actually, surprising. Our last video just got.
I lost everyone I've ever loved. Then they locked me away. With nowhere to hide from the pain. Escape from here.
There's armed guards everywhere. And if Blue finds out, we're dead. We're already dead.
You're afraid, don't be. To reach your own paradise. Just let go. What you're imagining right now, you control this world.
What are you looking for?
A way out.
I'm going to help you to be free. You will need to find 5 items. The first is a map. Then fire. Then a knife. key. The fifth thing is a mystery. Begin your journey. It will set you free.
He knows what we're doing. It's the only way we can get out of here.
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
That was cliche.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole thing is.
But see, this movie.
I was saying that line. I was saying.
Yeah. This movie was going to be made a video game, but they decided to do a movie before the game.
That makes perfect sense when you see what.
I mean, because
looks
it's just a typical video game. I mean, it looks fun.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about this is I think it's gonna do well because it's a bunch of 18 to 25-year-old females
Dude,
who
she looks like
model.
a porn star in that thing.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
I'm telling you, man, the theater's gonna be packed for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was the she played the girl in the Lemony Snicket movie a few years ago with Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Well, CNN wrote an article about this film today and just trashed it.
What did they say?
They just say it sucked. It was just bad. It was just a bad storyline. The only thing it was one of those movies that was just visually overbearing and just it was.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
an
CNN.
eye candy movie.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it all is. It's trying to track that demographic, 18 to 30-year-old men.
Well, it's just it's no different from Commando and all the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies when we were young.
Speaking of that, like I said, I was watching Escape from New York today. This is a list of things we need to bring back from this movie. 1, glass that breaks that easy, where you can just the whole of Manhattan is constructed out of sugar glass. Apparently, they're just breaking windows.
He's just a tough guy, though.
Yeah, it's Snake, man.
I mean, come on, look at his name.
More movies where people talk like this. Constantly.
There's others.
Cool. The sheer amount of overacting, I want to bring that back.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Where everyone's like, "God damn it, Snake, what's your problem?" And then he lights up a match on the ass of some woman. And, I mean, he doesn't, but this is and then, "You're my problem." It was so awesome. I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing."
Well, you may get it with the new Captain America movie.
Maybe, but see, it's not the same.
Yeah,
it's because those are all actually kind of like the Morgan Spurlock thing we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Iron Man. I mean, I know that's overacting. And bad,
What did you say about Morgan Spurlock?
He's got a new documentary coming out that we talked about
last week,
and he called it the Iron Man of documentaries.
Yeah,
because it's all about product placement.
He funded the movie on nothing but product placement.
The movie is called Palm Wonderful Presents the greatest story ever told.
Ever sold,
yeah.
It's about product placement.
That's it, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah. And they'll say things like, "What's the documentary about?" And he's like, "This."
Yeah.
And it's
I want to
just,
knock that off again.
Yeah, documenting that. But
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Since we talked about Captain America, I want to play the trailer real quick.
Okay.
And then we can compare it to see if it matches up to your bringing back the movies. Here's the very first trailer for the new Captain American movie, The First Avenger.
Rogers, Steven. Just give me a chance. Sorry, son. I'm saving your life.
General Patton has said that wars are fought with weapons, but they are won by men.
You just don't know when to give up, do you? I could do this all day.
Our goal is to create the greatest army in history.
I should be going with you. Look, I know you don't think I can do this.
This isn't a back alley, Steve. It's war.
But every army begins with one man.
5 tries in 5 different cities. I can offer you a chance.
He will be the first in a new breed of super soldiers.
Why me? Because the weak men lose in value or strength or
had the best men.
Now, Mr. Stark.
Nay, who personally escort Adolf Hitler to the gates of hell.
How do you feel?
Your task won't be simple.
Who the hell are you? The first of many.
Your enemy is not what you expect.
I don't know if I can do this. This is why you've been chosen.
Captain America.
What do you think?
I think it works.
Hail to the chief, bitch. Yeah, no, that's not what I want.
No, that's not. But you were saying something about his costume. What?
Yeah, I was saying. So what is he supposed to be like? Storming in stealthily into Nazi Germany, and he's totally wearing like this
flag.
bright blue spandex metal looking suit with.
They would not expect him to.
And this giant target shield.
They would never suspect that he was
Yeah.
there to cause trouble.
Yeah. Oh, must be a party. You know, it's just like-
No, wouldn't happen. But you know that they are doing a reboot of Chucky?
I've grown to hate that term.
I know. I know.
Why? I mean, it was kind of amusing the first time. Have I totally been muted or?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was kind of amusing the first time. They were fun, you know, because you were a lot younger when you saw them, and you're like, that's kind of creepy.
But this time it's not going to be done by who did the first? What studio did it? I can't fucking remember. But MGM's doing this one.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be different.
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Hopefully it'll be. I don't know. I mean, I'd kind of say hopefully it'll be creepier, but kind of the tongue-in-cheek, you know, bad puns was kind of fun about Chucky to begin with. So maybe, you know what, they'll probably get like Judd Apatow, is that his name? The guy that does like Superbad and all the raunchy teen comedies. That would be awesome.
That would be bad. But you know, last week we talked about
The
Hellraiser.
Is this the bad one or
no?
the other
This is actually has nothing to do with it. Clive Barker is bringing back the comics, and
That's way cool.
It is way cool, and you can get the prequel or the prequel what
Hellbound Heart?
prelude. I can't talk. Episode 0 of the comic book you can get for free, and which I'll put the link up on the site later tonight.
That's
you can
cool.
download that, and it was on April. What? Hold on. March 23rd is when it came out.
Okay.
The first number 1 came out. It's available at all comic book stores, and it will come out every month. Clive Barker wrote episode 0, the first one, and apparently he's writing the rest of them too.
Okay.
And the funny thing is if you're watching it in the chat room or in the 3D room, they're not using Doug Bradley's face on this,
right?
Or a model similar to. They're actually using something that you know doesn't look like anything that you recommend. And I don't know if he's releasing this comic to go along with the new one that's coming out, not the one that just came out that we talked about.
Yeah. You know, I think it's good that they're not using Doug Bradley's face.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
they never did it in. Well,
I mean, he was just the guy in the movie.
Yeah.
So.
But even in because I used to collect Hellraiser comics all the time back when they first came out, and the Pinhead in there, it was still generic, but it still had the features of Doug Bradley to it. It's just like the the Pinhead figurines.
Yeah,
they're not really Doug Bradley, but
similar.
Yeah, they had the feature. This one doesn't have any of the feature. He looks actually younger from it. But I'm really excited about it because it almost got me back into collecting them again.
Yeah,
because I no longer have any of my old Hellraiser stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I love the comics. I love the artwork in it and everything.
Yeah.
Let me get to page 2 so you can see some of the artwork. It's
what company's putting this out? Is
Boom.
It like Boom. I don't know.
I've never heard.
I love the. I love that the Hellraiser, his speech bubble is black with white font.
Yeah,
which is what they did in the Sandman comics. You remember whenever the Sandman was, it was the same way. That's awesome.
But yeah, it's good. I mean, it's gory and everything. The blood itself.
Dude, that's really great. I'm totally gonna download this.
Yeah, it's great. I'm excited about it. You can get it pretty much anywhere. You can get it at any comic book store. It's out now, so you can get it. So do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
But I love Hellraiser. It's by far one of my
compared to this,
one of my favorite horror films.
Horror icons.
Yep.
Awesome.
You like the band Delirium?
I did up until a point. Up until the Poem album, which, like, they had the one before that. I think it was called Karma, and it had the song with Sarah McLachlan, and it was really cool. And they, they had, I don't know, tons of like dance remixes of that one song.
Yeah.
But the main album was really good. Then the next one came out, and it was just way too fluffy and just it lost it. The Karma didn't have much of an edge, but I mean, it completely just became really soft and kind of corporate sounding. So I like Somatic Spaces and Karma and anything before that. And I don't really care for the album Poem, and then after that, I don't really care. Unless I hear something really good again.
Yeah. Well, in 2009, they played at 930 Club in D.C.
Mm-hmm.
And Miley and Hassan went to go see them. Well, the DVD's been released just recently.
Are they in there?
And they are all over the the DVD. I have it paused on one of the video screens. But let me get the mouse. Here's Miley and here's Hassan. But
hey, Janet.
They are definitely in that video, so it's quite funny, and everybody leaves me so they can go share everybody else.
Yeah, she told me.
There they are. There's Miley and there's.
That's really funny.
So.
Awesome.
It is pretty funny. So I won't play it because YouTube is blocking my videos again.
Boo.
And I don't know why they say it's copyright. I mean, I do know why they're saying it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know why,
but
I don't
it's
see
not.
why they would care.
It's so fucked up. So I'm just gonna start working on hosting.
Yeah.
The shit on Zombie Popcorn.
Yeah. Everything's getting too controlled now. Anyway.
It's so fucked up. I hate it. I mean, it's not like I'm claiming any of this to be ours or mine or anything.
Yeah.
It's obviously product of somebody else. We're talking about it.
Yeah.
It's obviously promotion for them.
Yeah. It's not like we talk that much shit. All we do is gush.
And maybe it was Cox that.
Yeah, probably was. Talk about files in front of our clients.
Yeah, fuck that. I guess Ham doesn't want to be a part of the show anymore.
No.
He's hanging out with the ladies.
Listening to dude, he likes weather, weed, and women. I heard him in there. Like, yeah, I might be going to school for meteorology. I was like, damn, dude, that's my wife.
Yeah, like, yeah, whatever. We can go see.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, go chill with him.
No, what were you going to say though?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember the movie with Dudley Moore when he played
Arthur?
the drunk guy? Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I ever watched it as a kid. I mean, it was always on, like when we first got you know, you could first get like Showtime and all that crap back in the 80s, but or hell, maybe it was on TBS. Hell if I know, but I never watched it.
Yeah. Well,
but they got the new one.
The
reboot.
They did a reboot, and it's fucking horrible. And this is probably gonna get me banned from playing it, but I'm gonna play it. And
you know, and I like this guy too.
Do you really?
Yeah, I didn't like him at first.
I think this movie sucks. Okay, the original movie, he was a drunk.
Looked awful.
Yeah,
I mean,
this one looks too. But he's not a drunk this time.
I'm his nanny.
I don't know if it is or they're just not showing it.
No, he's like it's like a cross between Big and Toy with Richard Pryor.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
That's a good movie, but
Maybe Daddy could help.
this is not.
Yeah, I don't really think this looks that great.
But you like the actor in this.
Yeah, I like some of the stuff he's been in. He was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall as he played this, you know, rock character, which is kind of his persona he had when he was doing, like, he was huge in England before he came here.
Yeah.
And then after that, he was in Get Him to the Greek, where he played the same character, but it was just kind of a carryover. Both movies I actually really like a lot. Especially Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I thought it was a hilarious movie.
Yeah.
He's not the main character in that, but the main character is actually a sound designer musician who's dating this this chick that's in like a famous, I don't know, like CSI show, and then she breaks up with him, and they both end up going to Hawaii, and they're staying side by side, and he's like a sex addict, total rock and roll star who's just like, you know, banging her and everybody else, and then the guy that's the musician eventually goes back home and ends up writing a musical in the style of Neil Diamond with puppets about Dracula. So it's like, this movie's awesome, man. I would recommend Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but maybe not so much Arthur.
Yeah. I don't think I would see it.
That being said, if I got a free pass, I don't know. You know?
I don't know about that. Well, we just have to see. But a movie that we all love, Night of the Living Dead.
No.
You're like, eh. The original screenplay for the film sold like for...
You can't even keep your guess.
Oh, well, whatever. I don't care. But the original screenplay sold for like $1 million or something, like a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
Well, the person who bought it has made copies of it, so you can get copies of the original screenplay.
Nice.
The cover of it...
I feel so sorry for... damn, what's his name? George Romero.
Why?
Well, because it went to public domain and he never made it.
Yeah, but he's making it back here on this.
Oh, is he?
What we're talking about here is
Okay.
John Russo is who wrote the screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's also one of the zombies in the film. The front cover of the screenplay is a photo of him, of Jack as a zombie. The back part of it is an autograph image that George Romero created to promote the company promoting Night of the Living Dead, and you can actually get it now. Let me pull it up so you can see. You can actually buy it. There's only been 1,000 of them that will be sold, signed, and numbered. You can only get it from one place, and the screenplay is, of course, awesome. You can get it, typical screenplay, just paper, or you can get it in hardcover, and you can get photos and stuff from there. And it's only $125 if you're a collector.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a hardcore guy. That's cool.
I think it's pretty awesome, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I was tempted to do it, but there's a little island that keeps me from buying things right now.
Tell me about it. I just got a commission check for some music I did. And I was like,
sad.
Top of the morning, motherfucker. It's like, but the trip's paid for now. Yeah, it is.
Woo. Thanks. But to bring happiness to this moment, 13 Assassins, directed by the director who did Itchy the Killer.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It looks awesome, so I'm going to play the trailer.
I love that scene where the guy punches.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that in a long time.
I haven't. We should watch it. You can watch it on Zombie Popcorn. I hate that you can't show trailers anymore.
I don't see how that could hurt. Not as good as Arthur. But, no, that looks so good.
It really does. I'm sad it's not in 3D though. But I'm sad about everything.
I gotta say, an epic samurai movie would be kind of fun to see in 3D.
Oh hell yeah! Me and 3D movies have been saying that forever.
You said ninjas.
It doesn't matter. Samurai ninjas, martial arts.
Yeah, I mean,
Chuck Norris, Van Damme.
Chuck Norris. Oh my God! Imagine the money that could be made with the Chuck Norris 3D movie.
Oh my God. As long as he's wearing those pants.
We should pitch that.
Let's do it. I think we just did.
Yeah.
No, but
3 words.
3 words.
Chuck Norris, maybe 4. I'm not sure. 3D.
It's hyphenated. It's one word. But yeah, 13 Assassin comes out April 29th.
That looks really good.
Yeah.
That reminds me of like I remember the Seven Samurai, like the really old black and white classic Japanese movie. Only, amped up.
Definitely amped up, and it's done by the director of Itchy the Killer.
Yeah,
and we know there's gonna be a lot of blood and shit in that.
Yay!
I mean, the trailer was nothing but sword slicing.
No, that's all you hear. I love it. Like they'll take it out of a piece of cloth and it goes shing.
You're like, what? That's magical. Well, you heard when he wiped the blood off with his
shing. He did it slowly. How does that? I don't care. It's awesome.
If you're a samurai or ninja, it happens.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
You can actually do it if you shave your head in the right pattern. And
have a little
which by the way,
ponytail.
I remember talking to Doi, and he totally did that to one of his kids when they were young. which is common, I guess, in the Philippines still.
Yeah.
So he says. Maybe he's just a cool father.
Maybe he's just like that.
But he did.
I just tell Americans that.
Yeah.
So
And he showed me a picture. Hilarious.
Yeah.
It was so awesome.
We should do that to Jan.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's good.
13 Assassins.
I think that's gonna be
It
awesome.
reminds me of. Did you ever see any of the Shogun Assassin movies?
I have them in 3D.
You have them in 3D?
No, I have Shogun Women. Never mind.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say they were banned in, I don't know, England, a whole bunch of other countries because they were like some of the first super bloody ones.
Yeah.
But they're based off of the comics Lone Wolf and Cub.
Oh yeah.
Which
yeah.
there's like 23, 27. I only have like the first 6 or 7. They're the best comics in the world ever made.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about how we love horror comics, but these, for me, are still a notch above. Basically, the idea behind it is this guy is called the Koku, which means the second, and his job is to decapitate people when they commit seppuku and cut open their stomach in front of the emperor. So he has this crest of the emperor, and you have to do it. You have to be like this amazing swordsman to where you can cut the head off in one swipe, but leave just a touch of skin so that the head doesn't roll as to offend the emperor.
Oh.
And so people will just, they'll get going, and then the mercy of the emperor, you get this cut. So someone wants his job. They frame him for this stuff. This whole bunch of imperial people come down, raid his house. His wife gets killed. So he's got his son there, and he's decided that he's going to follow, I forgot what they call it, like Mafudo or something, the demon's path, and become an assassin and kill to get his family's honor back, or just for revenge. And it's pretty popular in all Asian stories. So
that's what makes it good.
Yeah. So he sets down a ball for his son, who's like not even a toddler, just crawling, and a sword. And if he goes to the ball, then he'll go ahead and just kill his son there and go on his way. And if he goes to the sword, then he'll carry him with him. Yeah. And of course he goes, So he's carrying this baby around. And so he's doing all these assassin missions with his kid, and his kid's growing up like super badass toddler, over tough. And he'll even use him in some, like plots and stuff. And they show a scene of that in Shogun Assassin where I love it because it's just so Japanese. Like there's scenes in the comic book where, he has a duel with someone and he cuts them. He goes to kill them, and he slices in the neck. And then the guy, as he's falling down, says, "Listen to that. The sound of it sounds like wind going through the bamboo. The shukoka, the perfect cut of the bamboo air of this. My whole life." And this is as he's falling. "My whole life, I have strived to make a cut this perfect. How ironic now that it happens on my death." And it's just as blood is going everywhere. It's so awesome.
That is awesome.
But so in this scene in the movie, he's against the sun. So they're doing like the typical samurai thing. They're in the field running, and the sun is in his face, so the other guy has the advantage.
Yeah.
And then he ducks down, and he's tied a mirror to his little kid, who's got it up and reflects it, and then he like eviscerates the guy. They are awesome. They are so good.
Let me see if I can pull up something here.
And then if you ever watch the show Samurai Jack, which was on Cartoon Network, it's one of my all-time favorite cartoons. They show him as a little kid.
Return to
and
the
he actually sees the lone wolf and cub pushing him, because he pushes him in this little cart throughout the whole series. And then when I was like watching the making of Samurai Jack, he had the entire library behind him. So yeah, they are fantastic comics.
Well, seems to be a live action.
Yeah, let's watch a bit of this.
This is what we're just watching.
Since we're gonna get kicked off anyway.
Yeah, fuck them.
Return to the vanished.
Well, I don't think they'll care about this because it's not American.
Journey through a lost empire of mad wizards.
Dude, this is not it.
I know, but it's still awesome.
Barbaric passions. Behold the saga of a legendary warrior.
Yeah, it is.
A loving father who has the power of a dozen armies in one sweep of his mystic blade. This is a story of honor, disgrace, vengeance.
So beautiful.
Massacre.
Oh, none of this music is in the movie anyway. That's what...
A demon. Shogun assassin. Once, he was the greatest of the magnificent samurai. Now, he hunts the evil lords who butchered his wife and stained his honor. One man and
awesome.
one child defy
No,
the
that's
most
what Doi did.
notorious
He
masters
shaved
of death
his kid's
on the
head in
planet.
the same pattern that that little kid has with the tufts and the...
Like father, like son. Meet the greatest team in the history of mass slaughter.
And the music is great.
Yeah, you gotta love any movie where they say the greatest team in the history of mass slaughter.
Nothing on the screen can match this awesome spectacle of sword and sorcery.
What up, 3D movement?
Yeah, there's like, I remember in the comic there's some kills where he actually, like, one, he ends up throwing his samurai sword through someone, and of course the guy is, you know, going down as he's dying, saying, throwing the samurai sword. A samurai is not allowed to throw the sword, but you are running without a master, and you are now on the demon's path of Mafuno, and the path of the assassin. Of course, it was brilliant. Why didn't I see that your lower cut would not, you know? And it's just like, wow, this is awesome.
You got to tell the story, you know, and
yeah, all in one as the body's falling. It's just other things where, you know, he ends up killing someone who, you know, had to die for the plan to go through, and the other people say, where's our lord? He said, I killed him, and he asked me, his end was magnificent, and they all bow, and it's just, it's a total different culture. You know?
Well, but it's not really, because we have a film story, folklore, whatever, that is very similar. Don't put those up yet, because I'm about to break.
Oh, okay, all right.
That is very similar to Shogun Assassins. And there's a new movie based on this story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's The Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
There are things in this world worth fighting and dying for.
We're warriors. It's who we are.
The Three Musketeers. I've heard of you.
We are surrounded by enemies. War will engulf the entire continent.
It's just
we need to prevent the coming apocalypse. D'Artagnan, you want to be a musketeer?
Wow, that was great.
That was really quick.
I loved that story, though. I'd go see that.
Would you?
Yeah. I like fencing, too. I've always wanted to learn how to fence.
I've never seen a really good Three Musketeers movie. But I'm going to see this. You know why? One reason and one reason only. It was shot in 3D.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, like, Orlando Bloom. Was
That
in
too,
it.
no.
I think he was in the last one. I'm not sure.
I think he was, but this one's actually was shot in 3D. So
awesome.
You know, Stephen King is in talks right now to write an episode of The Walking Dead.
Really?
What do you think about that?
I guess it's all right. I don't know. I mean, as long as it's not a mini series on TV that's going to disappoint on the last night, then
he would never do that.
Yeah. Give me what I want and I'll go away. Yeah. I mean, whatever. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not like like a raging Stephen King fan.
I'm not either. I'm not a big fan.
I mean, he's obviously very good.
I guess.
I mean, he doesn't usually write and direct the crap movies that we watch that are based off of his really awesome books. So, yeah, if he can incorporate the "Honey, this machine just called me an asshole" line from Maximum Overdrive that he says, I would be very.
But that was a Stephen King based.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that was him saying the line.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, excellent. I don't know. I think it'd be all right. I think he needs to reach out to the younger crew because, nobody's buying his books anymore.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was just kidding.
Actually, his son's got a few books out now.
Oh, really?
It's actually,
are they
I haven't bought
related?
them. Yeah. Yeah, and they sounded pretty good.
I don't know anything about it. But I want to play a trailer
That's
real quick.
That's because you can't read.
I can't. I know. But
you just have big colorful buttons, to press the green one and then the red.
And half the time I don't even do that.
Triangle. Yeah.
Like this red button didn't get pushed.
I see.
And but yeah. No, there's a new movie from the producers of Shaun of the Dead and Scott Pilgrim versus the World. And it's called Attack the Block. And Attack the Block is a fast funny, they say. Fast, funny, frightening action adventure movie that pits teen gangs against the invasion of savage alien monsters. It turns London housing estates, which is the projects, but they don't want to say that,
right,
into a sci-fi playground. A tower block into a fortress under siege, and teenage street kids into heroes. It's inner city versus outer space. I'm gonna play the trailer.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. This time I'm gonna push that. Push that.
Is that, cuz? That's an alien, bruv. Believe it. When I landed in the wrong place, though, you get me? The wrong place.
Well, lads, you discovered a species hitherto unknown to science. He kicked its head in.
Yo, check it. More. More what? Them things. Lovely fireworks.
Nah, mate, it's an alien invasion.
Of course it is.
I'm killing them straight. Let's get tooled up, blood.
Quite sweet, really, aren't they?
That looks triple the size, blood. Right now, I feel like going home, locking my door, and playing FIFA.
What were those things?
I think I'm probably aliens.
What kind of alien would invade some council estate in South London?
One that's looking for a fight.
What is that?
Sorry about the driving. I'm getting lessons for Christmas.
Got no credit. Got one text left. This is too much madness to explain in one text.
We have to call the police.
You'd be better off calling the Ghostbusters, love.
No, what's wrong with you, man? You got tools. Jesus, he looks about 6. I'm 9.5.
We need to get off the streets. Back in the block. Wait, this is safe. Good luck.
Yep.
So that looks like the second alien theme movie that those guys are doing, because they're involved in Paul.
Oh yeah, they are. That's right. That's right.
Kind of strange.
Yep. I guess they're really getting into the. I wonder why there's a big alien push in films right now.
I don't know.
Weird. I don't know. Man.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know, but I've never been to England or London, so I don't know what their inner city is like. But whenever I see things like that, I'm like, our inner city could totally kick their inner city's ass. They can't even get guns real easy.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I was going to say something. I totally forgot. What the fuck?
I don't know, but Reagan is on the.
What was that?
I'm looking at the picture there. Oh, I know what that is.
What is it? What are you saying?
I'm talking about the Exorcist girl, Reagan.
Oh. No, what I'm actually pulling up here is so people in the video room can see.
Sorry, this is just me blowing in my bottle.
Is we talk about it all the time. I pimp you out as much as possible.
You do.
And now you can go and watch Nightmares in Red, White, and Blue on Zombie Popcorn.
You can.
Via Hulu. So
yeah, which means you don't have to pay anything.
you don't have to pay anything, which means Paul doesn't get any money, but we don't care about that.
Paul doesn't.
But yeah, so you can actually check it out. You can watch the entire.
The efforts of the Red Cross Japan relief effort.
Oh man,
Donate today.
there's ads everywhere.
You can support disaster.
That's probably why it's free.
Yeah.
By the earthquake in
But
Japan
yeah.
and the Pacific.
Not to mute the relief efforts. For,
Yeah, you're like, "Ah."
you're like, fuck that. It's, but that's just not what we do, man. It's not what we do. But yeah, you can actually see it. Here we go. Let's get this going.
Lower flute.
Who did this music?
In 1910,
this one's me.
The New York Film
I-
Studio.
I gotta say, the
Thomas
guy that
Edison
plays the
created
piano at the end here
adaptation of
somewhere.
Mary Shelley's Gothic novel Frankenstein. The film was a commercial failure.
You think so? Can
It
you
would
really
be
say it's a
20
commercial
years before
failure
the
back
rise
then?
of the
That one,
American
yeah.
horror film.
Just kidding. Oh wait, there's nudity about to come up, so if you're underage, don't watch. I wanted to watch it
Between
during the horror movie.
2003 and 2008, 135 horror titles grossed nearly $3 billion at the box office.
That's
Hundreds
it?
more were produced for home video, proving that the genre still has plenty of lifeblood.
What film is that from?
And prompting some to
I think
wonder
it's from
why American
one of the
viewers are so
Saw
obsessed
movies.
with violence.
Really?
Yeah.
How did we get here?
If a horror film
That's
is
weird.
cutting off people's thumbs and
Yeah, I didn't do that music back there.
You're not supposed to say that.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah, they did. Probably that was the good stuff.
That's the stuff everybody liked. What's up, 3D Movie Man? We had.
I need to do something else so we can talk about something else.
I know
'Cause we always
you need to
go-
get busy. I mean, what the hell?
Seriously.
I don't know. Our guests leave us.
Yeah.
It's just us. 3D
So
Movie
sad.
Man,
What time
hanging
is it?
out. What?
It's got to be almost time to be done with this shit.
3D Movie Man says that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is getting another sequel and is going to be in 3D.
Oh, that's.
But they've been saying that for Nightmare. What am I saying? Friday 13th and for Halloween too. Is there anything finally backing it up with that they're actually going to do Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 3D, or is it just still rumors? Because I haven't seen anything official, and I would love for them to do the sequel to the remake of Friday 13th in 3D. I would love to have another Texas Chainsaw Massacre done in the vein of the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre done in 3D.
What was the movie that the guy that did Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, he did one right after that, and I can't remember what it was called. I was reading about it the other day.
You talking about the director or the person who actually played Leatherface?
The director.
Tobe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
We
I
can
can't
look.
remember. It sounded interesting. I was reading about it, and it was one that, I mean, obviously I hadn't seen or I'd remember the title, but
Right after he did Poltergeist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and Salem's Lot.
no, it must be something else I'm thinking.
You're saying right after though?
Yeah,
Eaten Alive.
that's it.
Yeah, 1977 is when that came out.
Okay.
So what about it?
I don't know. I was reading something about it. I can't remember how I got on that or whatever, but it was one of those movies. I was like, oh, I should watch that.
Did you watch it?
No, not yet.
Let's watch the trailer.
All right.
Let's do it. Is this the trailer? I hate when they do this to me. Yeah, this is the trailer. I'm gonna readjust the screen real quick.
All right.
Hey, but you haven't seen this film?
No, I
right?
have not. I think I think I told you the other day. One of the borders across from town is going out of business, so
Yeah.
they had everything on sale, and I bought like one of those big packs of 50 Shirley movies,
Yeah.
which I have tons of. but it's put out by the same company, and now they've moved out of the 50s and 60s, and there's a whole bunch of movies from the 70s that are in there. So I think I was looking up stuff about those movies, and somehow this came up.
Well, 3D Movie Man just said that he thinks it's called Leatherface 3D, and it's set to happen right after the original.
Awesome.
Yeah, if that's true, that'd be awesome. Here's the trailer for Eaten Alive.
If you were one of the millions of moviegoers who were electrified by the unbearable suspense and sheer terror of Jaws, get ready for Eaten Alive. Created by Tobe Hooper, maker of the screen sensation The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Marty Rustin presents a new horror classic, Eaten Alive. Into this house of terror comes a handful of unsuspecting innocents.
Hello?
What happens to these people in Eaten Alive will give you the most chilling, terrifying 90 minutes you ever spent in a theater. Marty Rustin presents Eaten Alive. Mel Ferrer, Carolyn Jones, Stuart Whitman, Neville Brand. Get ready for Eaten Alive, a new horror classic.
So that's just Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Instead of Leatherface, it's
an alligator.
Which
that's actually, I remembered how I came across it. I was on that website, Trailers from Hell, where they play different trailers, and they'll have it'll be Joe Dante or someone talking about how much he loves this trailer.
Yeah.
And it was for the movie Alligator, and then they brought up Eaten Alive while they were in it. But I guess if you were listening to this, you wouldn't know. But if you were watching it in the chat room, who swings a scythe point first?
Well, who does it on a staircase? I mean,
but I mean, this is that's retarded.
Nobody said it was.
It's Texas.
Yeah.
No, I don't know where it's at.
I don't know. But he also did Funhouse. You remember that movie?
I've never watched it.
Oh my gosh, I loved it when I was a kid.
I know you've told me all about it.
Have I? We had this conversation?
Yeah. Carnival theme?
Oh, yeah.
This is what started
because that's what it did, yeah.
There's also a Swedish goth band named Funhouse that's really good.
Oh, really? I want to play the trailer to Funhouse just because I want to.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see this.
Yeah. Because we're going to play this anyway. We're, fuck you too.
Something is alive in the Funhouse.
Something. This is also by the same director who did Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Something better dead. Something that has the form of a human, but not the face.
Frankenstein?
Something that feeds off the flesh and blood.
Ooh, this reminds me of Dracula versus Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah. It really does, because they were set in a little thing like this.
Into a carnival of terror.
Breakdancing.
This is great because you can do plenty of just cheap gags because it's in a fun house.
And they work.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The Funhouse Coming soon from Universal Pictures, The Funhouse. It's a carnival of terror from Toby Hooper, the director who terrified you with the Texas Chainsaw.
That's all he ever gets.
I know.
related
I mean,
to.
but
And this film came out in
you know what though?
1981.
We're gonna be doing this show 10 years from now, and you're gonna be like, Paul, who did
He did the soundtrack, which hasn't done anything since.
Yeah. I remember when I was helping with Poultrygeist.
Toby Hoop also did Freddy's Nightmares TV series of 1988's
man.
episode
scared the
No
hell
More
out of me
Mr.
when I
Nice
was
Guy.
a kid.
Really?
Yeah,
I fucking hated it. Oh my
Yeah.
god, it drove me nuts.
What year was that out? Though?
That one came out in 88.
Yeah,
the
in
one that
88.
he directed.
Yeah, but I mean, those were out in '88. I was only 10 years old.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
So it was kind of creepy.
I want to see if we can find the.
Now I've seen them. I saw one very recently, and it was the worst show I've ever seen.
It's so bad.
It looks like it was shot on like a mobile phone. I mean, it is really low rent.
Yeah.
It makes. Yeah, it's probably one of the worst.
It really is pretty bad. Let me see if I can find an opening to it.
But as a 10-year-old, the sound of that the thing they used to make all the spooky sounds is called a water phone or an ocean harp, and it's this ball that has these different size points, pieces of metal, and you fill the ball with water, and it's got a handle, and you do a violin bow, and it does that like
Oh, really?
creepy sound you
That's
always hear.
awesome.
Yeah.
I never knew how they did that. But here's the intro to Freddy's Nightmare. Interesting. I guess it could have been all right, but I don't know. You can't make a TV series out of this.
Well, it was just him as a host, and then it was short.
But it was
story.
still no. It was actually there was when I watched it. No, it was them trying to leave Springfield, but he would fuck with them. But let me see. There's here's part one. We'll just do. This film has been related for a mature audience. What is that? Oh man, this is like when I was a kid. Nightly news.
Look up Ocean Heart under videos, and it'll come up, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's really cool.
Police believe there is no connection to that case and the bizarre triple slaying of 3 people.
See, this is the actual
show.
The TV show.
Yeah.
That's gonna get stupid.
Local bank robbers began threatening hostages near.
Why am I getting fuzzy? What's going on?
I'm disappearing. I like the stripes.
Yeah, that's.
No. Don't be afraid. This time, it isn't one of your nightmares. This one was mine.
See,
yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, so
yeah,
that's it. It's pretty lame. I mean, I love the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, but I'm sorry, I just can't get into it. But what do you wanted me to look up?
I was gonna say look up Ocean Harp, or sometimes you can find it under Water Phone, but.
And this is that thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, this is what they used to. You'll have heard.
Here's an Ocean Harp concert. Do you want that?
Just click. Just click that one.
This one?
Yeah.
All right. Here it is. This is what Paul was talking about. How they made the creepy music.
Well, that's not it. But, no, I mean that's it.
Telling you about the Ocean Harp. This is also known as the water phone, but this is actually kind of the.
Hey, this guy's a more
from the
successful
legit
sound
one.
designer. He can afford.
So this is the Ocean Harp from
but you'll hear the sound.
larkinthemorning.com, which is a website that has a lot of strange instruments. So this is one of them. Basically, it kind of resembles something from a kitchen with a bunch of metal rods all over it. And it's actually filled with water, which is why it was called a water phone. And you can use it in two ways. You can either use mallets on the rods, or you can use a bow. I'm using just a base bow. It does have rosin on it, and I've covered the metal rods with rosin too. This is pretty much an instrument that I think just about everyone in the world has heard, but hasn't identified.
Well, the guy this is a knockoff. Sure the original guy sells them for about 1,000 a pop. Well, these you can get for about 300.
So it sounds like this.
Oh,
You've heard that, and like
everybody's heard that.
Yeah.
But couldn't you just make something like this?
You could, but I don't have any welding skills.
Yeah. That is awesome.
Yeah. And you can process it, and
I'm sure
I could do a whole album off of this thing.
It kind of makes your skin crawl just listening to it, though.
Yeah, but it's also kind of soothing.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting mix, but yeah, I mean, they use that in that show constantly. I remember that was the first place I heard it, and that sound was creepy.
And it works well for, I guess, like, the...
It's the classic, like, instead of the piano chord hit, they use that.
I never knew how they do it. I mean, we've all heard that sound forever.
Yeah, everyone has heard that, and no one really knows what it is.
Yeah.
So there you go. It is a water phone.
Awesome. Well, we just learned something every day.
I feel my job tonight has been done.
Sound guy helps. I gotta see who's coming in. All right. So it looks like we're getting to the point. We're getting to the point where.
I know. It's our former guest.
Next week, we have a special interview going on. Upcoming film, Night Shift, which I showed you the trailer for. Well, I'll post it on the site later on this week. We're going to be interviewing those people next Saturday, so tune in for that. I want to thank Skin Folk for coming on and talking to us about their project.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I hope that goes well.
It's going to be fun. So make sure you tune in next week for that. Rebroadcast will always be on Monday, so if you missed any part of this show, you can catch up on iTunes. Maybe not YouTube. I may switch that.
Yeah, we'll see.
They are upsetting me. But you can definitely find out on zombiepopcorn.com and Zombie Popcorn Radio. Thanks for everybody hanging out. It's been great. This is an awesome show tonight. And I will see you next Saturday.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Have a good night, 3D Movie Man.
Mankind has tried to raise the dead. Our soul